Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. Back at it again, doing what I love to do, and that's talk all about the fake stuff. But it's all about winning real money, because here at the Cruise Dynasty podcast, one of the things we love to do is get our gambling content out. Got to get it out to the public. It's really my favorite part of the football season. Fantasy, I love it. Dynasty, I love that too. But the gambling, and specifically the game lines, love it. So basically today, you got a whole slate of gambling content. We got game lines. I'm going to give you the lock of the week, some over and under, some prop bets, and some DFS lineups. I need to make sure I can pull them all up. But, yeah, the whole slate brought to you by the crew. So specifically Matt Hamm, the Craft Man, C. Swizzy, our guy Noah Dick Blower, and the poor man P. Miller, all giving you some gambling content. We all talked it over. So this is what we putting out there for you. But with that said, 5-star review, add the podcast. Go at me on Twitter, at Crew Matt Hamm. Football season's around, start ramping it up a little bit online on them streets, even though I hate it. But with that said, let's see. Is there anything we need to talk about before we get in any news? I don't know. But football's tonight. I'm dropping this episode Thursday, so you're getting all this information in before tonight's Thursday night game with the Chiefs and the Ravens. I can't wait. It's a six-pack and a blizzy kind of night. Excited about this year. Got a few dynasty leagues. Got some best balls going on. Some best balls that we did with the crew. The Cruise Dynasty Podcast team number 1. Lift off tonight. Me and Kraft. That's a team on FFPC owned by me and the Craft Man, co-owned. So we starting that this year too. The team number 1. We'll be dropping, making many different teams over the years. But I'm gonna start off this episode. You know how me and the Craft Man and Chris, we say, hey, if you send us a question or email, we gonna answer it. And we doing it from the jump. I got to make sure I can pull it up, though. But our main man over there, Whale and SoCal, got a little question for us. He wants to know who he should start in his Flex 2 position. PPR, he's got Rome Odunze, Jaden Reed, Gus Edwards, Josh Palmer, Keon Coleman. And look, the answer's pretty easy for me. I'm going to go Jaden Reed. Rome Odunze, somebody I'm super high on as a prospect, no doubt. I'm not going to expect too much from his rookie year. I won't rule out a back half of the year splurge, you know what I'm saying? I got Rome Odunze and Jaden Reed in the league that I'm in. I'm starting Jaden Reed. I'm sitting Rome Odunze. Keon Coleman. Listen, I really don't want to play rookies in their very first game. So, to me, it comes down to really between Gus Edwards and Jaden Reed. I say roll with Jaden Reed. He's got the upside to it. Now, I do think his floor might be a little bit lower than Gus Edwards, but talked it over with the Crabman today. Gus Edwards, they're going against Vegas. Stout run defense. So I think the answer here is Jaden Reed with ease by a mile. So with that said, hey, well, from SoCal, add me on Twitter if you got a question. I can answer and get back to you real quick. But thanks for the question as always. And for anybody out there listening, man, send them in, man. Me and the Craft Man and Chris, we definitely want to get your questions, and we definitely want to answer them. It gives us something to talk about, too. And we love doing this. This is what we love to do. So, all right, let's start it from the top, though. Game lines. Starting from the top, this was mostly by me and poor man P. Miller, and the Craft Man threw his picks at me today. So I got about 6 of them, really about 4, and then one me and Craft Man agreed on. And it will be our lock of the week. But I'm going to just start it off with a couple of mine. My first one is Texans money line, minus 142. That means spend $142 to win 100. Spend $1.42 to win $1. I was talking this one over with the poor man P. Miller. He said this could be a trap game. Houston favored by a little bit. Listen, and I get it. And as a gambler, I understand where the poor man P. Miller is coming from 100%. And it very well could be a trap. But listen, I just think Houston bringing in a vet, Stephon Diggs, they're going to figure out how to win games this year. I expect them, even though I expect C.J. Stroud and some of their numbers to decline, I still think Houston's going to be a good football team. And frankly, man, me and the crowd, man, and Chris, we've been skeptical of Anthony Richardson from the jump. He has not looked good this preseason. Excuse me. Not looked good in the preseason. Timing looks way off. Things that me and Craftman expressed when we were doing rookie talks, talking about Anthony Richardson. But we always acknowledge the dude has an upside of his rushing. Still, with that said, I just think the Texans go out there, they take care of business, win me some money. The next one, I got Las Vegas and Los Angeles Chargers, the under at 41.5. And look, I've already seen it. I caught it earlier in the week at 41.5, and I seen that most of all the money, it was like 96% of the money was going on the under. So I knew that it was going to get bet down. So the last I seen it at 40.5. I would still take that. 40, I would still take it, but it's close. I imagine by kickoff it's going to be around 39.5. So I caught it at 41.5. If you, whatever gambling site that you're on, look and see what that over and under is. Under 41.5. I think, the Chargers, they want to run the ball. They don't really have receivers. Vegas, I think there's a bottom 10 offense. It's not going to be a good offense all year. So I'm thinking this game's going to be a lot of running the ball. Both teams that probably want to run the ball. So low-scoring game for me. Craftman, Cowboys money line, plus 114. Spend $100, win 114. Spend $1, win $1.14. Versus the Browns money line, Craftman got the Cowboys winning outright. That one was a little iffy for me. I think the Browns will play the Cowboys tough. Cowboys had a few contract, things going on this year, but we'll see how the Craftman fares on that one. And then his other one, Panthers versus Saints, under 41.5. Bryce Young, Derrick Carr, taking the under. And that gets me to our lock of the week. Locking it down. Titans. Plus 4.5 versus the Bears. The Craftman, he expects the Titans to win outright. This truly is, when I was looking for them, all through the odds, you look through every single one of them, bam, this one jumped off the page. Big time. Rookie quarterback, basically like this. Dating back to 2024, road teams priced at 2.5 to 6.5 in weeks 1 through 3 are 67% against the spread. I look back to week 1 last year, and I was thinking, what was my biggest win last year? My biggest win last year was Tampa Bay plus 6 versus the Vikings. Jumped off the page immediately. I snapped on that immediately. Same thing I'm doing with the Titans here. The Titans, they got Will Levis. I haven't been a big fan of Will Levis, but they're bringing in the vets, and they're making an effort to build around him. And I think they're going out there trying to they're going to try to go out there and win some games this year, see what they got in Will Levis. They got some veteran players out there. They'll be good on defense. The O-line should be improved. So I'm just expecting the Titans to give the Bears rookie. We're talking about rookies, rookie quarterback. It ain't preseason defense. Number 1 quarterbacks are 0-8-1 in week 1. And you got to go back to John Elway days to know the rookie quarterbacks on their debut to get the win. So the lock of the week, Titans plus 4.5. Let me repeat what we got. Texans money line versus the Colts. Raiders, Chargers under at 41.5. Cowboys money line versus the Browns. Panthers versus Saints under at the 41.5. And the lock of the week, Titans plus 4.5 versus the Bears. I feel good about it. All right, let me switch over to some over and under, some prop bets, however you want to call it. Underdog, sleeper, prize picks, they all got them. Whatever platform you like to use, go look at some of these lines. Check them out. You might get a better line on certain platforms and certain different apps or whatever. And you can get a line that'll favor you a little bit more. But I got a bunch of them, and this one right here, this is pretty much brought to you by the Craft Man, by Noah Dick Blow and C Swizzy. They hit on these pretty regularly. Last year, NDB and old C Swizzy was definitely hitting some big money on underdog and prize picks, and I think the Craft Man even hopped on sleeper. So basically, off the top of the dome, the ones that they got in common, the ones that I saw the most that they liked: James Conner, more than 12.5 carries. And then the other one was Etienne, anytime touchdown or 0.5 rush touchdown or reception touchdown. Those seem to be the two most popular ones. So I'm about to list off the rest of them, and here's how I would suggest. Take the ones that we say and pick your favorite ones. Parlay them up on underdog, multiply your money by 20, 30, 40. Make some money, go pay your rent, go pay your mortgage. So I'm about to name off a few of them, so here with me. I just named you. James Conner, more than 12.5 carries. Etienne, anytime touchdown. Then we got Isiah Pacheco, over 0.5 rushing touchdown or receiving touchdown. Cooper Kupp, over 69.5 receiving yards. Bijan Robinson, over 0.5 rushing touchdowns. Mike Evans, over 68.5 receiving yards. Mahomes, over 299.5 passing yards. Derrick Henry, over 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns. Jamaal Williams, anytime touchdown. Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdowns. Long list. So play it back. I'm going to have it in the description. I'll have it on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to have all these out there for you. But I'll go through them one more time, and I'll go through them real quick. Isiah Pacheco, a rushing or receiving touchdown. James Conner, more than 12.5 carries. Cooper Kupp, more than 69.5 receiving yards. Bijan, over 0.5 rushing touchdowns. Etienne, any rushing or receiving touchdown. Mike Evans, over 68.5 receiving yards. Mahomes, over 299.5 passing yards. Derrick Henry, 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdown. Over, let me just say that again. Derrick Henry, over. He's going to score a touchdown. That's basically what the fellas think. Jamaal Williams, anytime touchdown. Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdown. You know that one came from C Swizzy. All right, let's slide over. One more time. One more thing to get on out, and that is some motherfucking DFS. I usually stay away from DFS because I can't win no money on DFS. So I leave that to the Craft Man, C Swizzy, and the poor man P Miller, all bringing you out one. And basically the one that I saw most in common from the fellas was Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's one of those games this week where the over and under set at 51 with him and the Rams. So I'm gonna name you off a few of. Pretty much, I'll start off with the Craft Man. I'm gonna name off his DFS lineup. If you want to see the picture of it, the whole thing, you can go to Twitter at @CrewmanHamm, and I will have it posted with the episode with the show notes. Jared Goff at quarterback at 7,500. So he's got that Jared Goff. Amon-Ra St. Brown stack. James Cook priced at 7,600. Raheem Mostert, priced at 6,600. Then you got Amon-Ra, priced at 8,900. Cooper Kupp, 7,000. JSN at 5,200. Pat Freiermuth, 5,300. Nico Collins, 7,100. And the defense, Bengals defense, that's the Craft Man's lineup for you. Real quick, Jared Goff, James Cook, Mostert, Amon-Ra, Cooper Kupp, JSN, Freiermuth, Nico, and the Bengals defense. That's on FanDuel. Old C Swizzy done brought his out. Amon-Ra's in there. Like I said, between all three of the fellas who did their DFS lineups, Amon-Ra was in it. Chris goes Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Well, you know what? He sent me the pictures. I can't even see what they priced at. Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Rashad White at running back. James Conner running back. Amon-Ra. Mike Evans. So he's got a stack. Baker, Mike Evans stack. And you got DJ Moore, Cade Otton, Christian Kirk. And then the Titans. And it looks like old C Swizzy banking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So plenty of Tampa in that one. And if you want to see C-Swizzy's line up, you can check it out on Twitter as well, and we'll get that one up. I got one more to read to you. We got, like I said, Amon-Ra back in it. He's in everybody's lineup. He starts off Daniel Jones, 6,800. J.K. Dobbins, 5,500. A-Chain, 7,200. Cooper Kupp, 7,000. DK, 6,900. Amon-Ra, 8,900. Ingram, 6,200. Mike Evans, 7,900. And the Commanders. And real quick, if you want to see Phil's, like I said, you can just check it out on Twitter. And in the show episode, that's some DFS plays for you. Listen, real quick, strategy-wise, I know Phil and Craftman, they would echo this. The way they play DFS, the way they like to roll, go ahead, they like to try to stream you a tight end. Go get that cheap tight end, place them in there so you can get more money. You could, use the more money for your other positions like wide receiver and running back. They would also say cheap defense. Roll with the cheap defenses out there. And I agree, because when you're doing these DFS things, everybody's got the good players. Everybody's got the big players. They got the good wide receivers. But if you can hit on like the tight end, the defense, the quarterback, punting on the quarterback, if you can get, paying cheap on the quarterback, he goes off. Next thing you know, you got your big heavy hitters. You can use your money on Amon-Ra's and DK's all through your lineup, and you can get you good running backs. So, we'll let the Craftman, he'll probably come on here and talk about it more one day. But quarterbacks, tight ends, defenses, if you can, try to go as cheap as you can at those, and then win the rest of it and win you some money. Man, so that pretty much wraps up Gambling episode week 1. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Listen, 5-star review. This is one thing that me and the Craftman and Chris love to do, and that's the gambling part. We want to make the gambling part of our podcast and what we do here a big thing from a week to week. So we want to make sure everybody can win that real money. So the fellas, appreciate y'all. They put in a lot of hard work. Noah Dick Blower, Poor Man P. Miller put in a lot of hard work for week 1. We'll be getting out week 2. You'll be hearing us solo probably for the gambling content, specifically for the gambling content. You'll get our weekly episodes talking Dynasty and redraft and all kinds of stuff that we need to talk to as the season goes on. Tell a friend about the show. I'm just rambling at this point. Is there anything left to say? Nah, that's it. So we out.